The facilitator left the state, but the school continues to believe in FC.
No one has ever apologized. In fact, to this day, we still sense that the administration at the high school will never admit that they were wrong. They want to continue to say that facilitated communication is successful. If a new drug had just been discovered, it wouldn't be something that would be just thrown out into the market. It would take years of studies before this medication would be marketed. It's the same way facilitated communication should be treated. I mean, why should that be thrown out and people's lives devastated because they're trying it out on us guinea pigs? I think a lot of parents are grabbing at straws and are hoping that facilitated communications is going to be the answer for them. And I think they've been blinded by it. And I feel for these people, these parents that believe in it, because I certainly can understand where they're coming from. But until we face it head on and do more scientific investigations of it, then these poor parents out there are gonna be in the dark over what's actually happening to their child.
I know for myself, I wanted so hard to believe that it was real that I wasn't able to listen to objective thinking about it, because it grabs you emotionally right here, and once you're hooked, I mean, you are hooked. I don't think I was capable of rationally thinking about it, because I had clues even before we did our study that there was facilitator influence taking place in other places. People had done studies in Australia, and I said, oh, that doesn't happen here. We aren't using it the same way. We aren't holding letter boards in the air. We have them down on the table. So therefore that limits the influence that could be taking place. Well, I was dead wrong.
It was amazing to me to see how willing people are to abandon their beliefs and adopt a new belief without verification, and do that virtually overnight. Because it happened to myself. And when I think back on it, if I had just thought about the literature on autism and thought about the studies I was familiar with, I would have known that the phenomenon of FC was illogical, that it probably couldn't exist. But I was so caught up in the emotionality of it, and it just taught me a lot about human nature.
Despite everything, Douglas Bicklin and the Syracuse Facilitated Communication Institute remain committed to FC. They believe that time will prove them right.
I don't say I'll refuse to accept any amount of evidence. I've never said that.
What amount of evidence would you accept?
John, what I've said is we already have some evidence that this is for real. I think the challenge is, can we demonstrate it for, each person who's using it? That's the challenge.
It's very easy to fail in one's attempt to demonstrate something. It's usually more difficult to be successful. So it almost doesn't matter how many instances of failed studies we have. What we need with any one individual are instances where the person succeeded.
When he gets the letter that he wants, he hits the switch as he just did.
I know, it's really hot in here, isn't it?
Oh, thanks, Tony. And Tony just told us he's hot. Now, Tony's been coming... I've tried to find a middle ground. I don't know what the middle ground is. Either it works or it doesn't work. It doesn't work, so we have to abandon it. Abandoning it means that we just come back to where we are, come back to reality.
One day, the mysterious condition of autism will be understood, and researchers may find a cure. Until then, as the evidence against facilitated communication accumulates, a painful question remains: whether parents and those who care deeply about autistic individuals are choosing to see them as they would like them to be, rather than respecting them for who they are.